Hello, Brad, Robin, to whom it may concern. I just watched President Trump, his inaugural address on YouTube from January 1, 2017, where he called out Obama, Speaker Ryan, Leader McConnell, Pelosi, Schumer, and everyone present responsible for leaving the nation in carnage. After the speech, they went to the CBS coverage. Bob Schieffer called it, President Trump just ripped the hide off of all of them. President Trump will give the same inaugural address on January 20, 2025, and rip the hide off of Biden and Harris for leaving the nation in carnage. If you don't mind, I've made a few notes here. I'm going to refer to them occasionally. And first of all, that's what I'm going to do to you, Brad, you, Robin, you, Bell Davis and Pitt, both offices in Winston-Salem and Charlotte, and anyone connected to your dishonesty, harmful actions towards me and my family. First thing I'd like to refer to is a letter that I sent back on February 5, 2023, titled, To Whom It May Concern. It starts off by saying, when I asked Helen's daughter, Susan Emery, in April of 2021 to substantiate her power of attorney, she had an attorney with Morgan Stanley send me a letter addressed to whom it may concern. Hello everyone, this is Mike, the former husband and care partner to Helen Kleintobe. The last time we addressed you in our 200 plus Christmas card friends list here in the United States, Canada, and Europe was December 2020 via a friendly QR-coded YouTube video and heartfelt Christmas card. Then on Christmas Eve 2020, Helen's son Adam Emery faked COVID-19 on our granddaughter Grace Emery and a dishonest 14-day quarantine in a misleading scheme to keep Helen and me away from visiting Adam, Dana, and our grandchildren in 2020 and 2021. Earlier in 2020, when COVID-19 first began, in March, Adam, Dana, and Susan used COVID-19 to cover up the taking of Helen from our home in Clemens to Adam's house in Mooresville for the purpose of misappropriating the Morgan Stanley investment account. I filed a complaint with the SEC forever after. In 2017, Helen was diagnosed with mild to medium cognitive impairment, which advanced to PCA, dementia, Benson's disease, and visual variant to Alzheimer's. Helen lost her ability to write, sign her name, visual space, executive function, as we enrolled in the UCLA 18-month daycare program at Wake Forest Baptist. I asked Adam and Susan for assistance with Helen, receiving nothing from Adam and Dana, very little from Susan, even though she had designated herself medical and durable power of attorney for Helen with a secret will in 2018 that published Helen Kleintobe as unmarried with 2 children. From October 2017 until September 2021, I was Helen's care partner and then received a letter from an attorney seeking an amicable end to the marriage. At that point, Helen was on her own, and I presume the full-time care from Susan, medical power of attorney for Helen. Why am I sharing this with you? I do not want anything like this to ever happen to anyone in the United States of America. Adam, Susan, Dana, and others were profoundly dishonest, profoundly harmful to me and my family. I started the process of petitioning for an annulment. This will take 6 months or more to complete. In my mind, body, and spirit, this has already taken place as I commenced moving onward and upward last November. Please take a moment to say a healing prayer for Helen and her family. God bless Helen. My new venture is underway. I love the USA. I love the United States of America. And I look forward to next year, 2024, when the Republicans increase their majority in the House, take back the Senate by a 59-41 majority, and the presidency. Cheers, Mike Kleintobe. The question here is this letter. It was sent to whom it may concern. Never sent it to Susan. Never sent it to Susan. Someone sent this letter to her. And then Susan sent it to my son, Patrick. For no apparent reason. I'm not sure what she was trying to accomplish with that. I have a pro forma as we go forward and on into 2024. I'll send this to you in hard copy later on. But first and foremost on the pro forma is the money owed to Lee and Sally Kleintobe, the Kleintobe estate, by Helen Kleintobe, Susan Emery, Adam Emery, Lindsay Emery Lentz, Nancy Hurdle, and others, for the bridge loan made to Helen Kleintobe March 2007, which includes $47,000 of interest, which is now a known debt, and there is an affidavit and power of attorney, limited power of attorney for me to collect $162,000. Next, money owed to Mike Kleintobe by Helen Kleintobe, Susan Emery, Adam Emery, Lindsay Emery, Nancy Hurdle, and others for tax payments made by Mike Kleintobe from January 1, 1992 through and to December 31, 2021 for Morgan Stanley capital gains, dividends, and interest. 31 years times $5,000 per year equals $155,000. Plus interest of $15,500. Next, Obamacare repayment to Mike Kleintobe by Helen Kleintobe, Susan Emery, Adam Emery, Lindsay Emery, and Nancy Hurdle and others. $18,000. Plus interest, $10,800. Next, money owed to Mike Kleintobe by Helen Kleintobe, Susan Emery, Adam Emery, Lindsay Emery, Nancy Hurdle, and others. For Helen's health care partnering fee from 2018 through and to 2022. Susan Emery, medical power of attorney, durable power of attorney, and executor, 5 years times $100,000 per year equals $500,000. Susan and Adam took out a medical and durable power of attorney for Helen, unbeknownst to Helen, unbeknownst to me, back in 2018, thereby making Susan Emery responsible for Helen Kleintobe medical power of attorney since 2018. That amount, 5 years times $100,000 equals $500,000 plus interest, $50,000. Next, wedding ring return or $10,000. That's the wedding ring that I sent back to Helen back in August, I believe August of 2022. That's no longer her ring. As we now find out, there's a lot more into that ring than just returning it. So thereby needing the wedding ring returned to me or $10,000 cash. So subtotal so far, $921,000. Next page and next item, lawsuit against Morgan Stanley, conspiracy to commit fraud, $100 million. Lawsuit against Bell Davis and Pitt, defamation, $100 million. Lawsuit against Craig Jenkins, fraudulent will and power of attorney back in 2018, $5 million. Lawsuit against Susan Emery, Adam Emery, Lindsay Emery, Nancy Hurdle, Ron and Karen Lohman and others, conspiracy, RICO, $10 million. Subtotal, $215 million. A couple notes. President Donald Trump and family notification by Christmas card back in 2020. U.S. Attorney General, grand jury. Chuck Blixt, the group, former Senator Richard Burr, SEC probe, Morgan Stanley, fraudulent inducement. United States Attorney, FBI, United States Postal Service, mailing threatening communications. United States Attorney, Middle District of North Carolina, bribery, conspiracy. American Bar Association, North Carolina Bar, Forsyth County Bar, FBI, TRO, restraining order. Total, $215 million $921,300. Brad, I sent you a YouTube and a letter way back in March of this year, 2023, to you, and it was in an effort to end the matter. I've sent many since. You never replied. Several law firms I've talked to have said your client and your law firm are taking the do-nothing approach. That sounds a lot like the Chuck Blixt and the RJReynolds approach. If I find out that Chuck Blixt has been involved, I'm going to take the hide off of his remaining body, along with his friends and his family, except his wife, Leslie, one of the finest friends to Helen and me. Brad, Robin, Bell Davis, and Pitt, the first thing I want is a check made out to Sally Kleintobe in the amount of $162,000. If that can't happen by Friday, December 29, 2023, then I will commence a legal action per the pro forma that I just outlined, just as I explained to you. Be in touch with any questions. As you know, my name is Mike Kleintobe. My phone number is 619-733-2068. Oh, P.S. I would like to see you removed as a law firm in Winston-Salem and Charlotte. I know a buyer. Finally, there was a date back in July of 2021, and I sent you a letter earlier about the night that Helen attacked me bodily and throwing different objects and lamps and so forth. In fact, I believe you have have the lamp itself. I mailed it to you. I sent it to you by UPS to your offices there in Winston-Salem. Your attention, Brad and Robin. So you've got it. So hold on to that in case we need that for evidence. In addition, that night also included some very disturbing items being thrown at me in addition to what I just said. But here are the knives that Helen threw at me that night in July. I kept them along with a lot of other things, but these are the knives that Helen threw at me. This one right here, grazing my left ear. This is never going to happen ever again in the United States of America. So help me God.